Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. 3.4 is now out to the wider PTU, Wave 0 anyway, so that's for Evocati, Concierge and subscribers. Let's go through the patch notes for this Star Citizen Alpha 3.4.0 PTU patch. Please note that this patch does not contain all the intended features for 3.4 Live. As such, some will be added during the PTU phase or iterated upon, and there's going to be a butt-ton of bugs. The testing focus for the patch is the new ships, being the Freelancer variants and the 600i Touring variant, the Lorville Central Business District new gameplay area, and Hurston mission variants, delivery missions, scramble races, that sort of thing. They have added the Lorville Central Business District to the game. The Central Business District at Lorville can be reached via the Central Line Transit, leaving from Leavesden Station. Within that district, you will find the Transfers Commodity Exchange, the headquarters of junior outsourcing agent Constantine Hurston. The district also features the Hurston Dynamics showroom, where the latest weapons from the arms manufacturer are proudly on display for purchase. This area still needs a final art pass, and Constantine still needs additional setup, and as such, the area is certainly not finished. Missions. A lot of new mission stuff in 3.4. They've added the new mission giver, Wallace Klim. He's a chemist and drug dealer found deep within the bowels of Levski. Hurston variants for delivery, patrol, bounty, assassinations, and ECN missions have all been added. They've added scramble races to Hurston and its moons. They've added Hurston Underground Bunker FPS AI missions. They've updated mission objective markers to be more visible and include a secondary objective where appropriate. Bringing an invalid vehicle or placing your vehicle within another should now disqualify you from scramble races. They've improved FPS AI strafing behavior. They've increased the time given to the player for delivery missions. They've improved missile management for AI piloted ships. They've also made missions very plentiful. So when you go to your mobiGlas and actually select missions, you should see lots of them currently. On the UI side, they've added the ability to scan navigation points while in scanning mode. They've added an early implementation of subsystem targeting as well. So players can now cycle to different ships' components by pressing Shift T or Y, and that will cycle the sub-target forward and backward, and they can press Shift U to then reset to actually targeting the main ship again properly. At the moment, this lacks UI labeling and is a bit buggy, admittedly. They've added turret aim and target direction indicators to both the turret and pilot visors as well. A white cone pyramid indicates the direction the turret is facing, which will then tint red when the turret gunner is firing. If a turret locks onto a target, an orange dashed line will be drawn from the turret towards the target. These are visible to all other turret gunners and the pilots, and obviously is a UI thing. This is superb for multi-crew and actually working out where your turrets are firing, and if you're the pilot, where you want to be aiming your ship, and if someone's engaged somewhere. Obviously integral and vital for ships like the Hammerhead. They've improved the 3D ship model preview manipulation controls, and they've added a UI warning for when attempting to extract with a full hold of mineable ore. Players can now hold F and use the WASD keys in vehicle seats to quickly flick between MFDs. They've added visor chat to COM MFDs, and these are multifunction displays. They've added power prioritization to power MFDs. Interaction mode now has a quick select option. Pressing F quickly will activate the default interaction option of the highlighted object. This is obviously disabled when you're in the pilot seat, but does allow you just to press F on a lot of things to do the basic function of that, especially if there's only one normal function for that object. Creating 3D icons for mining has been done. They've removed unused and unneeded port information from the shopping kiosks. They've updated quantum travel markers with distance scaling. More on the ship and vehicle side, we've got the new 600i Touring variant, the new Freelancer variants, the Mr. and Max. They've added visual deployment states and animations for fracturing versus extracting modes on the Prospector. Power plants now have a ramp up and ramp down time before reaching their full power or fully shutting down. They've increased the quantum fuel capacity of all Exploration and Pathfinder style ships by 20%. They've extended Reliant cargo holds to accommodate 6 SCU. Ship EMPs now generate heat, make more use of power, and are able to be overclocked. They've updated the bearing sawbuck ballistic repeaters. Ship quantum drives now produce heat and are capable of overheating. They've updated all turret speeds. They've reduced cannon damage across all sizes. They've added third-person view to the Freelancer turret. They've updated the Joker Sucker Punch cannons as well. Gravlev vehicles can now only be spawned at vehicle kiosks. They've added landing gear compression to the MISC Reliant. They've moved interaction nodes on the Reliant to fit with interior changes. Balance passes on the Joker distortion cannon and bearing ballistic repeaters have been made. They've also updated party markers, added a new outline colour for untargeted, unscanned rocks when mining. They've changed the repair and refueling cost at the rest stops to reflect a small degree of scarcity associated with them. They've smoothed out a eye animation to prevent stair bobbing and teleportation. They've adjusted mining volumes and mineable entity geometry. For Arena Commander stuff, they've added a select rent ship button to the main Arena Commander splash screen. They've added manufacturers' logos to the ship selection screen. They've updated rental text, and now after successfully renting a ship, the selection now shifts to that ship. Bug-wise, there are quite a lot of bug fixes, so let's power through them. Pressing L while dead in Star Marine should once again open the loadout screen. Rejoining a Star Marine match should no longer display a player's ability to capture a point until the following round. Proximity alert should no longer cancel the Lorville restricted area warning, causing it not to return. The overcharge sensor should properly reset when mining and moving from one rock to another. Recco Battaglia should now properly remember that she's met you. Impact prediction pips now make better use of acceleration. When pads are full and a player requests a ship, they should no longer be given a Q position of 0. AI contact should now clean up properly on the ship radar. The mining laser should no longer become heavily offset on occasion. A player's sit position should now be correct in the Valkyrie's jump seats. Quantum travel graphical effects should no longer be visible inside some ships. The Dragonfly should now have a self-destruct timer and message. Ship weapons should now behave correctly according to power distribution. They've corrected some misaligned Lagrange points. FPS AI should no longer get stuck if the player exits through an airlock. NPCs at Lorville should no longer be standing on benches. Zooming while in interaction mode should now be centered on the cursor. The Anvil Arrows missiles should no longer be floating beside it. The player character should no longer get boosted jump by jumping a few times in a row. No more bunny hopping. Patrol missions should now consistently work for updates. NPCs should now properly be moving in the borehole corridor. Landing rights should now be revoked if the player leaves the ATC area. Ships should no longer be cleaned up and stored at outposts. The Anvil Arrow should now consistently appear on the ASOP terminals if a player owns it. The Mustang series ships should no longer spawn with the ladder down. The landing gear and wing folding should now trigger properly on the Mustang series as well. Larger ships should no longer be occasionally assigned small hangars at Lorville. Guns dropped by players should be cleaned up before the next round in Star Marine. Flight and throttle animations should play for all ships. The player should no longer be transported to map origin when in the driver's seat of a Grey Cat when it explodes. Players should no longer be able to eject from the Valkyrie as it isn't intended. The ship HUD and MFD should no longer reload when the player switches from third person to first person. Admin clerks at rest stops should now interact with players. Oh yes, epic win. Chat lines should no longer exceed the bounding box of the Mobiglass comms app. The Venture Executive Flight Suit should no longer function as an invisibility suit. Blade entry animations should now be properly aligned. The Cyclone should now have surface sound effects when maneuvering. Slightly toned down the heat haze effect on Daymar. The snow effect on Yella should no longer appear inside outposts and ships. 100% full mining container indicators should now have a consistent color. They've adjusted the rear door of the Avengers ramp so it reaches the ground. They toned down the Lorville hangar ambient audio. Ship loadouts should no longer be locked permanently after spawning a ship in the persistent universe. The arrow turret can no longer be placed onto any weapon hardpoint. The targeting UI should no longer remain on after a target is destroyed. ATC audio, air traffic control audio, should play correctly when requesting landing at Lorville. Vehicles spawned should no longer appear to move erratically. ATCs should no longer be buried at the bottom of your contacts on the ship comms MFD. They now appear at the top. That was literally requested as an idea on Reddit and seems to be implemented pretty damn quickly from that. So that is community in action. Awesome. Turrets should no longer experience snapping when rotating while their parent ship is rotating. Turret slots should now be editable for the Constellation Caterpillar Cyclone TR on the VMAs. The Kana assault rifle magazine should no longer be mislabeled as the Demeco. Rifles should no longer clip into the player when they're crouched. Players should no longer take damage on stairs while mantling or making small jumps. MFD focus should no longer cause the screen to become blurred. The UI alert shields down should no longer get stuck. The admin office at Lawville should now have atmospheric pressure. Patrol missions should now update after the hold instruction. Orbital markers, or OMs, should now properly rotate with their parent planetary body. They've adjusted the no-fly zone visuals so it should no longer clip into hangars. The admin clerk's idle animation should no longer be dramatic enough to cause the player to select the wrong interaction. Players should no longer be able to lose their box if they immediately place it back in the delivery locker. The player should no longer be placed underground after ship cleanup at Lawville. There should no longer be replace me balls inside of Teacher's ship shop. While searching for a player, the FPS combat AI should no longer stop frequently and hitch. There's a lot of other little fixes as well, so put the fix or fixed prefix in front of each of these statements. HMC Rider having no waypoint on Eta, HDMS Anderson being missing on Aberdeen, an issue where the GeForce blackout effect was stronger than intended, markers not appearing for some delivery and bounty missions, objectives not updating for some delivery missions, multiple Lawville guards occupying the same space, some areas of Lawville L19 had double gravity, elevators in Levski appearing invisible from certain angles, and 7 client crashes, a server crash, and various performance tweaks. There are still some major known issues with the patch. All down satellite missions given by Clover Star Neely fail to update at the retrieve component step. Players are currently unable to set destinations on the Mobiglass Star Map app. Actually, that's not entirely true. You can, but obviously that's an intermittent issue. Use manual select quantum, ship 3D radar star map, or push and hold the set destination button for at least 10 seconds prior to releasing. Kills are not recording properly, causing most kill-related missions to fail. ESP is currently not functioning. So that's it for those patch notes, but I do want to talk about the patch very, very briefly, because I'm going to be doing lots of different videos, actually focusing on different elements of it and doing tours and things. But if they get the crashes sorted for this patch, I will be extremely happy. Obviously, the major known issues as well, but there is a huge amount of missions here, and having access to the bounty hunting ones and the different difficulty ones straight from the off is awesome. I was able to do missions with mission givers and admin staff and retrieve boxes and stuff consistently, which was awesome, except occasionally the server crashed, which was not so awesome. And occasionally I would crash to desktop, but I could get in straight away afterwards back to where I was. So it's nice to know that that is working. There are obviously problems with this patch, but if they can fix them and iron them out, this is the best by far patch they've ever done for Star Citizen for a live build. Like, it has so much accessibility to stuff, and there are loads of missions everywhere. I open up my Mobiglass, and there's just dozens of missions. It was absolutely fantastic. I'll get a tour of the Freelancers, the 600i, and the Central Business District up ASAP, so check that out when they come out, and please tell me your experiences with this 3.4 patch. Are you in the 3.4 Wave 0? Is this sort of PTU what you were expecting from the 3.4 kind of extended 3.3 branch, or were you expecting more? Obviously, they will be adding more bits and fixing those bugs. Hopefully for a 3.4 live build shortly. I think they're aiming for December 20th-ish for a live build, so hopefully it'll be up around then with a wider Wave 1 PTU coming probably by the weekend, but please don't hold me to that. During December, we are giving away a Star Citizen game package, Saber Raven, and CitizenCon 2948 goodies pack. All you need to do to be in for a chance of winning those is be subscribed to my YouTube channel and comment on any of my videos made during December. More details are linked below. And if you are considering getting a new gaming PC or upgrading, first, please consider the Shadow Cloud gaming service. It leverages the power of your internet connection to turn a device, be it phone, laptop, tablet, or PC, into a powerful Windows 10 gaming rig. I've seen people just use their phones and a gamepad now to play Star Citizen. It works great for me in Star Citizen Alpha 3.3.7, and the Shadow guys keep on updating both their hardware and software. Your mileage may vary with Shadow though, based on your internet connection, so please bear that in mind. It is subscription based, and using the code BoredGamer will net you a discount. If you don't have Star Citizen yet, then please check out the links below as well to get 5,000 UEC, the in-game currency, as a bonus. Any comments and feedback is appreciated. Please take care, guys, and I'll see you in the verse.